What's up everyone, welcome to the Go Bowling at the Glen Top 5 DFS Picks video for Sunday, August 21st at Watkins Glen International for our 5th road course race of the season. As always, I'm your host Chris Pennell. You can find me on Twitter at ChrisPennell16, and this video is presented by PrizePicks. In today's video, we are going over general track strategy, how to approach the slate from a DFS perspective, and my top 5 favorite plays on the slate. Please keep in mind this video is being recorded pre-practice and qualifying, so some of my thoughts and opinions on these drivers can and probably will end up changing throughout the weekend. So making sure you're staying up to date on what happens on the track on Saturday and Sunday will be very beneficial to you in creating fantasy NASCAR lineups this weekend. And if you want the up-to-date info analysis, you can find me and not Jason this weekend, me and Terry on the Live Before Lock show over on the Stokastic YouTube channel, or break down the entire slate and answer any questions you may end up having. And as far as how we should approach this slate from a DFS perspective, road courses are always going to be a bit of a different, at least approach or roster construction setup compared to most tracks, because we actually make right turns here at road courses, and the laps tend to take a lot longer, so we have less laps. We only have 90 on the schedule this weekend compared to the 400 that we had last week, where dominators were going to be super important. Not really going to be the case this weekend. Yes, it is nice if you can get a couple lap leaders in your lineup, but for the most part, you are building lineups based off drivers you think can finish well, or after a little bit of place differential as well, because there's just not that many dominator points to warrant going super heavy on drivers that are going to lead laps. Again, nice if you can get those guys in, but for the most part, I am building solely off of finishing position and some place differential mixed in with a chance of maybe leading some laps as well. And moving on to the picks, we will start at number 5, and I think he's just way underpriced this weekend. It's Michael McDowell, only $7,100 on DraftKings and only $7,200 over on FanDuel, and the price just seems a bit low for a driver that has been incredible at the road courses so far this year, and I love this price point on him. So he's going to be very easy to fit in and probably going to be able to end up building some pretty balanced lineups this weekend. But looking at the road courses this year, it's a 4-race sample size. He has an average finish of 8th, which is 3rd best, only behind Austin Cindric and Chase Elliott. A pretty good group to be in. One of the better average running positions, an excellent driver rating. He's also been in the top 10 3 to 4 races and the top 15 each and every single time. So no matter where he starts, I am fine playing him, even if it's inside the top 5. We've seen so far at the road courses this year that track position has been a huge deal. And looking at his recent finishes at the road courses this year, he finished 8th at Indy and Road America, 3rd at Sonoma, and 13th at COTA. And I would say Sonoma and COTA are more comparable road courses to the one that we are at this weekend. But overall road course strength, he has been very strong this year, and this price point is really hard to beat. And moving on to number 4, this is basically just a buy low for me here, but William Byron is incredibly cheap this weekend. $7,700 on DraftKings, only $7,500 over on FanDuel. I wasn't really planning on talking about William Byron too much this week, but at this price point, you have to be interested because he has had some speed at road courses this year. Sometimes the finishes aren't quite there, but some of those are out of his control. But he has been top 10 in green flag speed this year at the 4 road course races. And if you're looking at his overall numbers at them so far this season, he's finished inside the top 20 3 out of 4 times. And that would have been 4 out of 4 times. But last time we were at a road course at Indy, chaos ensued. He was running well near the end of the race, but ended up getting spun out, I believe, by his teammate Chase Elliott. Ended up having a pretty poor finish. But besides the bad race at Indy, 16th at Road America, 9th at Sonoma, and 12th at COTA, which I think are the 2 most similar road course tracks compared to Watkins Glen. So I think we have legit top 10, top 15 upside here. And if he happens to qualify poorly, he'll be a very popular place differential play, but I think you can play him in all formats. You need a little bit more horsepower here at a track like Watkins Glen, and Hendrick Motorsports overall has been pretty strong this season. And moving on to number 3, it's a favorite of mine this week, but it's Chris Buescher, $7,800 on DraftKings, $8,000 over on FanDuel. And I like him a lot this weekend. I think he can make some noise to potentially win this race and shake out the playoff standings, as he does need to win to be able to get in. But I think this is a good track for it to happen, because like Michael McDowell, he's just underpriced for what he's been at road course this year, and he definitely has the speed. He's 6th in average green flag speed this year at the 4 road course races we've been at. He's got 3 top 10 finishes, and looking at the past 3 road courses for him, 10th at Indy, and you got to keep in mind he caught on fire at the beginning of this race and somehow came back from 2 laps down to finish inside the top 10. If he never goes a lap down, his car never catches on fire, there's a good chance he's probably running top 5 because he was very fast in that race. 6th at Road America and 2nd at Sonoma, which I think will be a pretty similar track or at least a pretty similar race compared to what we see at Watkins Glen this weekend. So I'm liking Chris Buescher a lot here. He's always been pretty consistent at the road courses, always a top 20 guy. The past 11 races at road courses, he's finished inside the top 20 10 out of 11 times, and overall actually has some of the best numbers. He's got the second best average finish on the entire field the past 11 road course races. So he's been very consistent, cheap on both sides, and honestly he's got top 5 upside, if not race winning upside this weekend. And before we get into our next pick, I want to talk about our sponsor, PrizePicks. They offer daily prop-based contests, and you can use promo code OSMO for a $100 first match deposit bonus. There is no sharks, optimizers, or mass entries. 5-player lineups can add up to 10 times your entry fee. Use your knowledge of multiple sports with the cross-sport entries. Download in the App Store, on Google Play, or play over on PrizePicks.com. And don't forget to use our free player prop tools to help you make the best selections. You can get 1 free month of Stokastic plus Platinum when you sign up and make a deposit over at PrizePicks, and receive your email within 24 to 48 hours after to redeem your free month of Stokastic plus Platinum. And moving on to number 2, we're going with the Trackhouse car here with how fast they've been at road courses this year. And while it's not Daniel Suarez, he's still an excellent play this weekend. But we're going with his teammate Ross Chastain, $10,000 on DraftKings, 12.5 over on FanDuel. And it has been a bad month for Ross Chastain owners, and he's been running quite well. I mean, at certain portions of the race, he's the best play on the slate, getting the most DraftKings points, and then issues arise where he's either getting a penalty, he wrecks out, or just straight up issues. So it's been a bit of a rough month, but if you're willing to look past that, he still has a ton of speed, one of the best cars in the field, top 5 in average game flag speed at the road courses this year. And while he did finish 27th at Indy, he was near the front at the very end, ended up taking a shortcut. They penalized him, but outside of that, he has been excellent. Won at Coda, 7th at Sonoma, 4th at Road America, and honestly should have been top 5 at Indy, and that's after riding around in the back because he spun early on, overcame that, but issues arise where Chastain just, again, killed your lineups. But I'm going to go right back to the well here. Overall at the road courses, he's been very strong this season, averaging the 3rd most DraftKings points per race, some of the best numbers overall, 2 top 5s, and a decent chunk of laps led for a road course. He's got the 3rd most dominator points at them so far this season, and the 2nd most fast laps. So the Trackhouse cars have been incredibly fast at the road courses. I'm not sure what they got going on under the hood, but it seems like they got a couple extra horsepower than the rest of the field. And like I said earlier, Watkins Glen is more of a horsepower track, and the Trackhouse cars definitely have the speed for it. And finally, my number 1 play for the Go Bowling at the Glen at Watkins Glen International. It's the road course king, Chase Elliott, the most expensive driver on both sites, 10.7 over on DraftKings, 14K over on FanDuel. But it makes sense. He's got the best odds to win this race over in Vegas. And like I said, he is the road course king. I know he doesn't have any wins to show for it this year, but he's still been pretty solid at them. Actually, if you're dating back to the past 11 races at road courses, no one's averaging as close as many DraftKings points per race as Chase Elliott at 47.8, with the 2nd best being at 38.3. By far the best average finish, the best running position, the best drive rating. Does not have the most wins, but the most top 5s with 7, and the most dominator points as well. And if you're looking at the numbers that he's had so far this year, spun out at Indy at the end where he finished 16th, but 2nd at Road America, 8th at Sonoma, and 4th at Coda. He's also 2nd in average green flag speed at the road courses this season. And if he does qualify quite well, I think he's going to stay up front for the majority of the race, if not dominate, because we don't have to worry about him points racing or anything. So it should be on the optimal strategy for the entire race, which is what we want for DFS purposes. We do not want guys selling out for stage points and then being at the end of the pack in stage 3s. It's going to be pretty tough to overcome, and plus we need more horsepower at this kind of track, so I do like Hendrick's chances of being pretty strong in this race. So loving Chase Elliott here, and definitely my favorite to win this race. And so to recap, at number 5 we have Michael McDowell, number 4 William Byron, number 3 Chris Buescher, number 2 Ross Chastain, and number 1 Chase Elliott. Basically going with guys that have been really fast at the road course this year, guys I think might be underpriced, or just overall strength at road courses. But that'll be all for this week's video. If you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet already, and leave a comment down below agreeing or disagreeing with anything I had to say this week. If you just want to tell us your 5 favorite plays on the slate, you're more than welcome to do that as well. And don't forget to follow us on Sunday for the Live Before Lock show with me and Terry, where we'll break down the entire slate and answer any questions you may end up having. But with that being said, I wish you all the best of luck this week, and I'm looking forward to our 5th road course race of the season.